Hello, everybody. You guys, thank you so much for coming. This is the 6th hour of our TCRMI 24-hour fundraiser. Let me throw some tickers up here, you guys. We want to see what's going on. This is what's happening. Hey, so welcome to the 6th hour. And the TCRMI is a fundraiser that brings awareness to veterans who are struggling with PTSD and losing hope. I, of course, Murray had already said that, and I personally have not had military experience. My grandfather served in World War II, but I do love what you guys are doing in here, so I'm here to support that. I'm just using my live stream platform, StreamYard. Shout out to you. So this event is going to run until 6 p.m. tomorrow night. That'll be October 8th, and it brings awareness to the programs, TCRMI, and in collaboration we have made with other organizations and how we can help veterans gain hope while living with PTSD. I mean, who wouldn't want to help out with that? If you'd like to donate, you can donate by going to the link that's in the ticker here. It's pretty easy. It's what is it? Let's see, tinyurl.com/hope for vets. So do that. And I also put it in the comments. I don't know if you can click on it as a link in the comments, but I also posted it in my Facebook comments and also my LinkedIn comments. So if you go to any of those, you can definitely click on that as a link. I appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, so we appreciate all your donations. Every single dollar counts. And, check this out. Boop, StreamYard, thank you. Every dollar counts, you guys. So please donate. Over these 24 hours, we're going to be, there'll be live stream shows going on with supporters and veterans sharing their stories and the organizations that help make a difference in our veterans' lives. There's a lot of other organizations, and they all come together. So let us know where you're tuning in from around the world. Where are you tuning in from? This is so much fun, you guys. Boom. Hey, where are you at? Where are you tuning in from around the world? Let us know in the comments, and I'll be sure to get to those comments and pull them up in a bit. Thank you so much. I do have guests in the audience, you guys, so please stay tuned. I have a full house here. Mr. Bicknell. So GCRMI is a veteran organization that was founded by Mr. Greg Bicknell. Bicknell, I want to say it right. He's a retired Air Force veteran after serving for 29 years. Thank you for your service. Mr. Bicknell had brain surgery. It didn't go well, and the result, he got medically discharged from the military. In his journey in that pain, he realized that he needed help after having suicidal ideations, suicidal thoughts. And after getting the courage to ask for help, he was told to make an appointment. I don't know who's been there. This has happened to me, not on this type of a note, but that lit a fire under his butt, Mr. Bicknell. He was the driving force to start TCRMI. We're talking about the Camaradie's Rescue Mission, Inc., so that no one else would have to endure being put on a waiting list once they decided to reach out for help. Dorothy and Tim. Tim is in the audience, you guys. Dorothy and Tim, they decided to come along TCRMI due to their love for helping her veteran family and knowing that 28 veterans a day die by suicide. That's a huge number. Something needs to change. She had Mr. Bicknell on her Monday night show, Unstoppable Overcomers, and I watched that one. It was on January 31st of 2022. Is episode number 44. If you want to check that out, check it out on the YouTube channel, Unstoppable Overcomers. Dorothy is so amazing. I took a class with her. She wrote a book. You guys check her out. I mean, if you don't know Dorothy already, if you haven't been watching this live stream, Dorothy's the girl. Dorothy and Tim, have done other 24-hour live stream fundraisers for cancer. So we thought, why not? They thought, why not to help our veterans? So here we are. All right. Dorothy and her business partner, Kimberly, who I haven't met yet, but I hope to, are on fire to help TCRMI grow and help save veterans' lives. So that's what we're all here today, to show up. Show up, you guys. Change lives. Dorothy and Kimberly also serve on the board for the TCRMI. So let's get some of these guests here. Let's bring them up. Remember, every dollar counts. I want to introduce you to Tim Sohn. Of course, you haven't met Tim Sohn yet. He is a great friend of mine. Tim Sohn, say hi. How you doing?
Hello, Robert Murray. Thank you so much for hosting this hour of the event.
Absolutely. I'm humbled to be here. Like I said, even though I don't have veteran experience, I understand what we're doing here, and I really love Greg Bicknell. I already got to meet him earlier. He's the only one besides you that I've met so far, so this makes this a really fun time. So, Tim, how has how have you been affected by? Are you a veteran? Do you have veterans in your family?
Yeah, so I don't have a lot of veteran connections. Jim Fuse, who is my co-host on the Tim and Jim show, is a veteran of the Marines, so he's a connection I have. And Joy, my wife, her dad is a veteran, so that is also a connection that I have to veterans. So those are my
So,
two connections to veterans, the only two
so
that I
you're
know
here,
of.
so
Uh,
you're here
and
because you have
also
a chief.
being involved in this event because Dorothy asked me to, because we had done the cancer 24-hour live stream fundraiser back in March together. And so she had so graciously helped out with that and came up with the 24-hour idea for that one. So she asked if I would help out with this one. And how could I say no to Dorothy?
Yeah, no kidding. And this is the second 24-hour stream I've helped you out with, Tim. So I'm
Yes,
happy to help.
thank you so much, Robert Murray. I bow down to you.
No, 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 no. Don't
Yes,
do
absolutely.
that. I just love to be part of something. I'm up here in Alaska, like I said, so it's good to be able to talk to people. Hey, let's bring the rest of the crowd up, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We know this guy, this handsome dude. Hey, Greg.
Hey, look at
How
that.
you
Well, you
doing?
said handsome dude. I thought he was talking to somebody else.
No, I was talking to this dude.
Oh, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. See, that's perfect.
How you doing?
Oh, how you guys doing? Greg, I talked to you earlier. You are the founder of TCRMI. Tell us in your own words, how you came to making this organization.
Yeah, so mine's a story of it started out with a little bit of tragedy on my end, not true tragedy. Let me pull that back a little bit. I'm not going to say tragedy. I back when I was getting ready to retire, I had a brain surgery 2018. I ended up retiring in 2019, and post surgery, I was just having one of those really bad days. I mean, long story short, the worst day I'd ever had. And in that day, I just realized I just felt like I didn't want to be there anymore. I felt the best thing to do for my family would be to go ahead and just move on, and maybe there'd be some insurance money that would help them out, because I felt like I was in a situation after the surgery that I really I wasn't useful anymore. And so when I reached out for help that day, I had the ability. Luckily, I paid attention. In my ninth grade typing class, I was able to type out a message via email to go to the provider. Well, that's not the way it's supposed to be done. It's supposed to be done through this messaging system called secure messaging. And so when I sent the email, I got a response back from someone, the provider on the other end, and said, "Hey, you need to make an appointment. And oh, by the way, here's a copy and paste of the regulation that says I wasn't supposed to be contacting them that way." So I mean, what a kick, right? I'm there. I still had double vision at the time from the surgery. I'm literally, in as bad a situation as you could be in without kind of going through it. But you can kind of imagine where I was at. I've been crying all day. Truly didn't know why, and I was ready to end it. And the response I got was make an appointment. So I got really ticked off that day. I tell people that Greg Bicknell was having the worst day of his life, but Chief Bicknell got really ticked off and said, this isn't going to happen. We're going to fix this. And so I emailed my boss and said, "Hey, here's what happened." Again, I can type not looking at it. So I'd sent it to my boss and I said, "Hey, here's what just happened. I'm going to handle it." And so I can only imagine what he thought at that time, right? Knowing me, he's thinking, let's see, Greg's high because whatever meds they're giving him, I'm sure his head's hurting. His head's probably hurting. Somebody just ticked him off. He's probably thinking, we're both going to the principal's office or whatever he's about to do, right? He's like, this is not going to end well. But in that situation, it didn't need to end well. You needed to do something about it. And I was able to reach out. I contacted the med group, the person that ran that, along with their chief, and we made some changes. And I reached out, and they were like, 100%, that should not have happened that way. And so we were able to fix things for what it was. But my thing was, what if someone didn't have the access that I did, or couldn't just email and didn't know that they had that option? It was like, what about the person that had just come in that may have been in the military for a year or so and wasn't able to know that they could reach out to anybody on base? So it really bothered me. So fast forward from that, I got out of the military, like I said, medically retired. I couldn't deploy anymore. And I moved on, and around Christmas time in 2000, well, it wasn't around Christmas time, it was Christmas time. And the day after, I was looking at my Facebook feed, and it showed these black stripes across 7 badges, and what I found out was 6 of them were from suicide. And when I saw that, I just was like, man, and I knew them. I knew these people, and I looked at my wife that day, and I said, you know what, I'm going to resign. And at that point was really when Camaraderie Rescue Mission was born, because I was in a great job. A place called Drock International was taking great care of me. After I got out, I didn't really know what I was going to be able to do, and they gave me a chance to actually do something I was still really good at, which was aircraft stuff. I'm an aircraft technician by trade, and so they gave me that opportunity, and I'm very proud of the work I did for them. But at the end of the day, I realized I need to go help people, and that's where I need to be. And I thought I had something to give, and that's what's led me to here. So all the stuff that I went through, I say it was a blessing now. It wasn't so much then, right? But it led us to where we're at today. And where we're at today is I get to sit on a podcast tonight with these amazing streamers like yourself. Tim and Dorothy have been, cracking the whip and making me, answer questions and doing all these things. But it's been amazing. And all these podcasts, I got to meet Philip and hear his story. Absolutely amazing. Liberty, I'm sure I'm going to get a chat, with her here in a bit. But it's just, I'm so humbled by where I'm at now. And, my story was one of trouble, and it's one that a lot of folks go through. And now it's one of, we're doing this. And so when I meet people that take a situation and now they're doing something to maybe for the greater good, that's what we're here. And then if you look at the way we've done the podcast, and I'll wrap this up, is, I brought on a bunch of people that have been instrumental in this last 2 years with me. Kerry Stewart was on the last hour. That guy literally, when I was at one of my darkest places, reached out to me and said, you need to come to this organization called Warriors of Ascent that I'm a part of. Come out here, come see me, come go through this. And at that point, when I left there on that Friday, it probably wasn't good for the place I was working for, because I came home that Monday and I'd had this week of revelation and said, I don't need to work the job I'm doing. I need to go help people. So I came back that Monday and dropped my resignation paperwork. And Kerry knew that I was in a bad shape because we've known each other for so long. And he said, brother, I need you out here because you need to come to this program. And I went out there, and it's an amazing program, Warriors Ascent in Kansas City. And again, I don't just talk about my organization. When people are doing good stuff, I want them to know about my KC, and I want them to know about that's Kerry's org, and I want them to know about, warriorsascent.org. It's just how it should be. It's not about my organization. It's about the people we're helping, or our organization. It's not mine. It's ours.
That's so powerful. Greg, thank you so much for coming. I'm humbled. This is a great organization, wonderful people. I mean, 24 hours, 12 hours is one thing, 24 hours is completely different. Greg, your story, every time I hear it, it just warms my heart, story of power. And you look, you're reaching out, you're here. And that's really what it's about, is showing up. Let's get moving on down the line here. Greg, thank you so much for coming. Yeah. I want to make sure we're going to introduce everybody. Rush Johns, my friend, how are you doing tonight? Late for you, isn't it?
It's not too bad. It's not as late as some of the people on the East Coast. So I'm Pacific time, so I'm okay. And like like you shared and Greg had shared also, there's so many people out there that are not aware of the challenges that exist in the community and some of the things that we can do together as a community to increase this awareness and avoid the negative, tragic outcomes that some people feel that's the only choice they have. And with people like Greg and some of the people that are on this 24-hour stream, they're sharing information that is absolutely critical to the health and welfare of the vet community. And also, anyone that has PTSD and has ideations of suicide. And I've lost friends and family from suicide, and I know it firsthand. I know what that feels like from the other side, and I don't want anybody to feel that way and experience that pain. So if we can save one person, 10 people, 100 people, it's our job and our opportunity to do that. So thank you so much for being here. Humbled and honored that Tim invited me on and allowed me the opportunity to share at least a few moments of time with the group here.
Thank you so much, Russ. I finally got to meet you. What is that? I love your sign in the background there. I always look for something like that, I like
Well,
that.
the pirate broadcast and the pirate syndicate is something I've done, hundreds of episodes on the pirate broadcast. And the pirate syndicate is essentially a group of producers that are helping produce content, helping produce live streams, and increasing and improving content creation for business owners. And the pirate sign is from the radio background that allows people, because if you don't have a license to broadcast the frequency on traditional radio, you're considered a pirate broadcaster. And now that we can all get on StreamYard and Restream and the internet, we're all broadcasters. So in a way that we're all pirate broadcasters. And I believe that kindness is cool and smiles are free. And if you want to share some great information, share your gifts, your value, your message, you have to be a pirate.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Russ. I appreciate you. I definitely get the pirate symbol. I appreciate, I also, I do podcasts and live streams. Sometimes I don't know which direction I'm going in. So you're doing something good there. I appreciate you so much, Russ.
Thank you.
We're gonna hop on down to Philip. Philip, I haven't met you yet, and I'm so glad you're here to help out with the live stream. How have you been affected by the military? Do you have any veterans in your family? And you're on mute, just so you know. Oh, you're on mute, my friend. There you go.
I have a lot of veterans in my family, actually. My father was in the U.S. Air Force. So was my late uncle that passed away in 2016. My grandfather was in the U.S. Army, World War II. My uncle that I just mentioned was in during the Vietnam War. I have a number of cousins. One of my cousins was in the Air Force and actually stayed in Japan after he got out the service and currently lives there now with his wife and 3 daughters. I have a cousin that's currently in the U.S. Army, another cousin that just recently got out maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. But what I will say is that unlike the reason that we're here today is to help these vets that are dealing with PTSD and low times in their life. I was actually grateful that didn't happen to anybody in my family. They all came back, safe and sound and, with no issues. And, like Mark Lee mentioned before, I'm not just here for the vets. I'm here for the healthcare professionals as well. I was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease at the age of 4. Went on dialysis at 16. Had a transplant at 17. It rejected at 20. 3 months after that rejection, I suffered emergency brain surgery from a heparin-induced subdural hematoma. A number of surgeries and health issues between then and around 2019 when things kind of started to level out for me. I am now in the process of scheduling open heart surgery. I've had a lot of times with paramedics, nurses, and doctors. Like I mentioned a few times earlier today, my main goal is to make sure that nurses are happy. When they come in my room, I try to make them smile, giggle, laugh, something to change how they see, their shift for that night. I want them to be happy when they got to come back to work the next day because they get to, be in a room with me and be able to have a great time, at least for the little time, that they're, on their shift. So, again, thank you to Greg, to Dorothy, to Tim for providing the opportunity for me to be on today.
Thank you so much, Philip. Your story is amazing. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being a live streamer. Thank you for what you're doing, and I just encourage you to be strong, my friend. Keep sharing your story and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for being here. And we have one more guest. Connie Keller, she is very special to me. She is my clubhouse. I call her Mama Ken. She does fundraising for everybody. You get a hold of her, she's like, she's constantly doing something. And for her to make time, I'm just very, very happy. Can you introduce yourself, Connie, and tell us if you have veterans in your family? And she's a retired nurse too, as well. So here's our beautiful Connie Keller. Hi, you're muted, hun. You're muted, babe.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I unmuted myself, so I think you can.
Yeah.
We can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm on Clubhouse as Liberty Shamrocker, or like Robert said, as Mama Ken. And I am a retired nurse, so I thank you for your kind words, Philip. And it's like a family thing that most people in my family have been in the military. My father is one of them. He suffered a vaccine injury from taking the vaccine, and now has Lewy body proteins. And he was one that my entire life he would never really talk much about the military. When I asked him what he did in the army, he says, "I peeled potatoes." Now he does talk about things in the service, but he also has um, with the Lewy body's dementia that he's got going on now. He has a lot of PTSD and a lot of pain from it, and a lot of things have came back to him from being in the service. So while one moment he may proudly talk about being on a dual border things and being in Germany up to his chest in snow and all of those things that he'll talk about now, all of the really bad things really come back as well. Now that he has that. So my dad's probably the closest one that was in the military and just did not talk about it. He went a good 50 years never wanting to fly anywhere really again, or to get on a ship or a cruise to go in the ocean. He's like, nah, did that in the service. I really don't want to go there again. Any one of those things could bring it back to him, but he still did not talk about the service the whole time. All he'd say is, I peeled potatoes. So thank you for having me on here. And of course, I am always happy to help with any causes like this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I can add more later. I've got a couple other things. So
Great.
thank you so much.
Absolutely. Hey, let's get back to the normal pictures here. What are we here to do, you guys? We're here to raise money and awareness for this TCRMI program. So you know how to donate. Is tinyurl.com/hope for vets. Get on it. Every single dollar counts. We have great guests here today. Every single dollar counts. Yes.
I got the star. It's the first
Yes,
star
you
I've
did.
ever got right there, I think.
I played around with my
I know
stream
how it
notes.
Wow, you're fancy, Robert.
Yeah, well,
Love it.
I had to at least put in some effort. I tried to, I try to memorize things, and like I'm pretty good at it, except for right when I need to do.
Hey, I want to jump in here. Liberty, I was gonna hit you up with something here real quick. So, one of the guests that was on earlier, I think it was at 10 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, then she's on again in the morning at 6 a.m., is Dr. Janelle Royster and Dr. Joseph Tuturi. And I think you would get a lot out of that. And that might be a great connection for you with your family member, your dad, and maybe even some other folks that are in your circle. She's doing some amazing work. It's worked for me. Some of the things that she's been doing. And so I would highly suggest that even if you can't make it at that time, to go back and rewatch the video, then connect. And if you need to get connected with her, you can always connect with me and I'll get you linked over there too, because she's doing some amazing things. She's trained in like 24 different modalities. And then her sidekick, or however you want to say it, Norm, he's now currently deployed. He's going to be on at 2 a.m. and he's the one that's really pushed her hard to to get her to get trained in all these other modalities to help folks. And so he'll be on in just a little bit. And so I think it would be an amazing connection for you to maybe see something a little bit different. It's not talk therapy. It's not something that, if you're familiar with NLP, neuro linguistic programming, or RTM, recovery of traumatic memory, and all that stuff. If you're familiar with that, she is very astute, great program, and what she's doing is changing lives. So I just wanted to connect you with that, because again, it's not totally about camaraderie rescue mission. It's about connecting people with services that's going to help and improve the quality of life. That's why I asked all these different streamers and all these different organizations to come on, because I don't want to keep their secrets a secret. And if we can help them to survive or help them to grow, then I'm all for that. Let's just all come together. That's the big thing. It's connect. We connect, support, sustain, and connect is the biggest thing, because if you can't connect, the support and sustain doesn't happen, right? So that's why we're here.
Excellent. Making friends and connections already. Man, Tim, how do you do this to me? Tim, when Tim asked if I wanted to do a live stream, I mean, the only answer is yes, because Tim is so amazing. I mean, how could I say no? And I mean, I got Ross Jones. I got Ross Johns in the house. See, I finally got you on my show, buddy. But we're here. We're not to talk about my show. We're here to raise money, you guys. Please, every dollar counts. I'm gonna keep doing this for the last 30 minutes. tinyurl.com/hope4vets. You guys get on it. Let's do it. Every single dollar counts. And can you tell me, Tim, what is it if you donate $100, you get into a raffle?
Oh yeah, Greg, do you know the details of that?
Yeah, I'll hit you up. So we have this thing going with Freedom Boat Club. They have 350 locations around the country, around the world. Actually, they're in a couple of different foreign countries. And what they do is if you $100, at least $100 donation, or if you did 10, if you did 1,000, it would be 10 raffle tickets that you would get. But what it is you get a chance to win a 6-month membership. It's a $7,500 value. Of course, you win, then you get the $7,500, or you're also donating to a good cause. So you're kind of doing two things. And so it's one of those places to where, I think their catchphrase is, we provide the boat, you provide the fun. And it's a really, it's a thing that we're looking to do too. It's one of the reasons we're raising money, is because there's so many locations, and where we have all these vets, we want to multiply the areas that we can reach and the locations we can get to. And we can take veterans out sometimes just on a fishing trip, or maybe just cruising in a boat. When people get relaxed and people start feeling good and people start feeling like, hey, I'm out here. When you go fishing or to the barber, you're going to tell all your lies, right? Or tell all your secrets or whatever. And so when you get out there and you're just kind of out on the water, we want to get folks talking, get folks comfortable, and then connect them. And that's one of the things that we're really looking to do, is we get a membership there. And again, then there's 30 locations just in Tampa alone to where you can take folks out on the Freedom Boat Club, right? Wow. So really, really cool setup. And then the other one is that I think, Mark Lee said that the first person that donates a $500 and they request it, he is going to help produce a show about a veteran show, and to help him put it out there. And so he's going to give his time, energy, and talents. And if you know what that costs you guys do, that's well beyond the $500 that he's looking at that you would be donating. So the return on investment on that is just amazing. So that was very generous. That was not something we had discussed before. It was just a generosity out of his heart to say, hey, I just want to do something more. And we really appreciate it. But yeah, Freedom Boat Club, $100 or more, you get the another entry, another raffle ticket. And it's a great deal. Like I said, I want to get one myself, or get one for Camaraderie Rescue Mission. And again, for 6 months, it's about a $7,500 value. So they're not inexpensive, but still, they have the boats, you have the fun, you come up, you pay for your gas, you walk away. It's good. You just reserve it. So it's a great deal.
Wow. That sounds fantastic.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it really is. Like we tell people, you can have a couple of your buddies and put in $25 each, and now the four of you. Now you just got to fight over who has the keys on what day, right? For 6 months. So,
wow. Excellent. Yes, and every dollar counts. I'm gonna keep doing this, you guys. This is a fundraiser. This is a fundraiser. Pull out your wallets. You see the link down there. It's not clickable. You can go to my comments on either my LinkedIn post or my Facebook post. It should be clickable there. I edited it to make sure. And I can't do the YouTube one, but if somebody wants to put it in the comments on the YouTube so they can be clickable, that'd be great as well. tinyurl.com/hope for vets. You can probably remember that, tinyurl.com/hope for vets. You can also pay by check. You can make it out to Camaraderie Rescue Mission Inc. and mail to Greg Bicknell up in the top right here. USAF CMS Sergeant. Sorry, Ref. Can you explain to me what those acronyms mean?
So it's kind of, so I'm going to tell you, it's kind of funny because I think that's what's on my signature block, and so that made it into this. So
Okay.
typically when I get mail, it doesn't come in saying that I'm a retired Chief Master Sergeant on it, you know. It'll just say Greg Bicknell. And so when I saw that, I'm like, I'm just going to run with it, man. People will get a good, you know, it'll be good. But I appreciate it because, you know, I know where it came from, and I think now it even says Ref, not retired, but it actually was supposed to be RET. But you know, people can also go for that was you, wasn't it, Rob? Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out.
That's okay.
But you know, I'm a vet, so it tends to happen sometimes that way. But you know, people can go to tcrmi.org. That's our website, and then when you go into there, right at the very top of it, you know, there's a button you can click, and it takes you to the same place that Tiny URL takes you. So sometimes it's just that much easier and that much slicker to be able to do that. Is tcrmi.org, and then they're already in our website too. You can kind of see some of the things we've been doing. If you're on a computer, you can actually see a video that shows some of the things we've already done, sailing trips, fishing trips, things like that. And a lot of the organizations that you'll see, it's because we've collaborated. So when people have an org, like I was talking this morning, well, it seems like this morning, earlier in the day when we had another show on, it was Hooves for Happiness. And they're a relatively new organization, right? But I worked with the husband. The wife is starting this new organization. This other lady has already been doing it, Dr. Sheena. And they came to me and said, hey, you know, we want to do this. Would you like to come out? And I said, you know, it'd be great. And so then as I started talking to him, I said, you know, I think this would be something great to bring the vets out to. And so let us help you grow. And so now it's something I can help someone in the community because our deal is, you know, veterans, first responders, and the communities they serve. And that's where that heroes, badges, and warriors came from. If you didn't know that, I'll kind of break it down as the heroes is really the heroes that are out there just every day. I don't mean that. It's the people that are really going above and beyond. And they're doing things, and we want to be able to recognize that. If you have no affiliation to the military, you have no affiliation to first responders or things like that, there's so many of those out there, probably more just by sheer numbers of how many people have been in the military and how many general population, because we're like at the 1% model, right? There's so many people that are doing amazing things. I want to be able to recognize them, and I want to be able to recognize them with something that meant something to them. So what we have, you know, is I have these coins that these are new kind of, and I haven't even shown this yet on the show, but we kind of have this coin that shows our logo. And I told you I was going to show it again, Robert. So it's there. That's the front side. And then the back side of it, it shows all the different branches plus EMS and all that. And then they're numbered. We had 50. That's the first run. And so we have these. They're about 2 inches across. They're a really nice thing. But I want to walk up to the military. A coin is something that, you know, it's an ultimate sign of respect when you give it to somebody. And it shows this, you know, it's kind of a big deal. It's an official thank you, if I may. And so we want to do those with a little certificate, hand them out to some folks that are doing some cool stuff. And there are some people on the show that, you know, we're going to hook some folks up when we're done, when we do the final rally. But it's just something that this says thanks, you know, and these things are, it's a hefty little deal, but it's something that.
Show that again there, Greg. Show that again.
So so let me see if I can figure this out. There we go. Here we go. So if you look, the circle is, you know, all the military branches and the different EMS, fire department, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And then you got the world. And what that really means, there's symbolism in all of this, right? And so in that coin, really, I did it circling the globe because people from the globe reach out to all these different agencies when things are going south. But the other side of that is those folks that are in that are actually part of the earth that's in there, along with all the other folks that they're meant to protect. So we're all in this together. That's what that means. Over here on the back, on this side, or on the front side, I'll call it, there's a little guy right there. That's me. That second arrow is me. The guy to the left, the guy to the other side of that's on the outside, that's Kerry Stewart. And so when I said he called me out to Warriors Ascent, I took this picture on the Friday of probably when I was really getting to a bad place. And that was the group that went through that Warriors Ascent with me that's out there. It's a week-long program, one of the best run programs I've ever seen. And when that was over, I took that picture on a Friday, and like I told I don't know if I said it here, but I resigned on that Monday because I realized that in order for me to get healthy, I needed to start taking me more seriously And I needed to start really taking care of me in the self-help kind of perspective, self-care. And I started doing that day. And then that was actually the reason it's on this coin, and the reason it was up in the front of our original logo
Oh,
is
nice.
because that was the day that I decided this was going to become a full-time thing for me. Now I'm back in the workforce, but still I've got this great team that surrounds me that allows us to do this as a full-time mission, right? But that was when it all started. That Friday was when I decided this was going to be what I do for the rest of my life. Whether I'm working another job, no matter what, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. The workings of it started way back before that. But this
Hey,
is
Greg,
when,
I wanted to ask you a question.
yes, sir.
Not to cut you off, but you had in the interview that you did with Dorothy, you mentioned that your family had said that when you had gotten that brain surgery, maybe they had like introduced an emotion gene or something close to that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what you were saying about that?
Yeah,
How
I
you can you say
actually
something
do.
about that?
Yeah, so before I had the surgery, and before everything went down, I was pretty stone faced. Me, you didn't see me smiling. All the pictures I have now, I'm smiling and all this stuff. That was not me. When you look at my pictures from my military days prior to that surgery, I was like this. That was my smiley face, right? This was my smiley face. You know what I mean? And so what happened when I went into that surgery, it did one thing. Is they said it hit it. I got emotions, is I think what I said. It hit the emotion nerve or
Yeah,
whatever.
that was right.
Because unfortunately, some of it was good, some of it was bad, right? So now I'm either, the PTSD thing that came flooding forward because I couldn't control it anymore. I couldn't mask it. And so now when I get upset, I get super angry. When I get where I'm having a bad day and maybe I'm having that, I'm in depression, I'm super depressed and I don't even want to get out of bed or get out of my chair. And so there's really no mid-range for me. Like you see me now, like I get like this, I get excited. It doesn't take much if you noticed on any of the interviews you've ever seen me or these. Like one little thing will trigger me and like I'm, just you got to pull me back in. You got to cut me off or I'll keep going. But I get excited because it's stuff that I love and I love what I'm doing and I love the people that are surrounded that I've been lucky enough to be surrounded with, and I just feel that God has put all those people in my path. And I didn't know why for a long time. And as things became ready, it was introduced to me. And then this came about. I wasn't ready to do this a year ago. I wasn't ready to do this 6 months ago. This is happening at the perfect time, this 24-hour fundraiser. And it's a forcing mechanism for me to do some admin paperwork I hadn't, or just to do some little simple things I hadn't done, right? So it's just in perfect timing, right? But it hit the emotion there because I had none before. And
I
sometimes
love that story.
I may cry, these days. People, like, and I say that jokingly because if you knew me before, you'd be like, I don't even know if he has tear ducts, right? And now sometimes I'll be watching like a movie, don't be trying to take my man card or whatever now. Sometimes I'll be watching a movie that typically would not have even made me blink. And all of a sudden I got this stuff coming out of my eyes and I'm like, am I leaking? One of those, I think there was a show. I just that wasn't me. But like I said,
Wow.
then there's the other side of that, the opposite side, where when I get upset, I get really upset, and that's been challenging. So I'm a different person from pre-surgery to now. As I went from the guy that you could tell anything, and I'd be like, all right, kind of roll off my back, let's go, to a person that now sometimes my family, depending on what kind of a day it is, whether training, whether it's not, the weather, whatever, could change it. They have to sometimes decide if it's the right timing to tell me something because they're afraid of my response. And when I say afraid, they don't want to make my day worse. I'm not physical. I don't, none of that stuff, but they don't want to get it to where I get upset and frustrated because then that turns into a migraine, turns into vertigo, turns into me laying down the rest of the day and maybe not being basically incapacitated. So it's good and bad. I now have good emotions, but I also have bad emotions.
Well, I love that story. Right now, though, what are we doing? We're raising money.
That's
You
right.
guys better get your wallets out. tinyurl.com/Hoperbets. You can also pay by check, Camaraderie Rescue Mission, and mail to Greg Bicknell. He's a USAF.
Chief Master Sergeant, CMSGT.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Retired.
1532 Telegrass Way. So you live in Florida. Where do you guys? Where does everybody live? I'm in Alaska. I know, Connie, you're in Ohio.
Mhm.
Philip, where are you at? You might have already said. Ben, you're on.
Los Angeles, California.
Welcome, Los Angeles, California. How about you, Russ? Where are you joining us from? You're on mute.
Sun City, Arizona.
Excellent. Wow, it's warm down there. It's freezing here at night. So
No, it's cool. It's nice here right now.
beautiful. And Tim, you're in Pennsylvania.
Yes, I'm in Shohola, Pennsylvania.
The land of coffee and bears.
You're learning quickly, Greg.
Huh?
You're learning quickly.
I am. I'm trying to figure it out. Tim texted the other morning and said, "Hey, I was went to go get coffee. I was walking back home and I saw a bear, so I decided or I was walking back from dropping my daughter off, so now I'm gonna go back because I think I just saw a bear." And I was like, "Well, you may want to grab a bagel just in case he's still there when you get back. You know, you never know what you might eat."
I often tell the joke with Robert that we all talk about going up to Alaska to see Robert, and I said if there is one man that could convince the bear to not eat him to come on any that would be Robert. So kudos to Robert, but he is the only one I can think of bear to come inside and just enjoy him, not eat him.
That is an amazing compliment. That's an amazing compliment.
And my sister Eileen Sohn is watching. Hello, Eileen Sohn.
I love you.
Eileen,
Is she in the comments? Let's see here. Oh,
yeah, she just commented.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, guy.
Yeah,
I love you, Eileen.
Fantastic.
Remember when I thought you and Tim were twins? Do you remember?
A lot of people say we look alike. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
It's one of those ones you don't know who's the compliment and who's the one that has to, be like, "Oh crap." Like, "Oh, that was so awesome," and then the other one's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe they think I look like so." I think I know which direction that goes, but I'm being really nice because I made the bear comment and the coffee comment earlier. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh,
my
nice.
goodness. Yes, and what are we here for?
Fundraising.
Raising money. Let's do it. This is the Unstoppable Camaraderie 24-hour live stream. Heroes, badges, and warriors. I don't have it up there, but that's an important. Those three are very important. Please donate. tinyurl.com/hope for vets. You can remember that. You can't click on the ticker, but you can click on the comments that I put in my LinkedIn and my Facebook, and hopefully soon on YouTube as well. The donate is everywhere. Just get a hold of us. We'll tell you how to do it. Love you guys. Tell us where you're joining in from. Don't think you're getting away with just watching. I want to know where you guys are at, what you guys are doing, how you're helping vets, and how you think our live stream is going. So without our viewers, we wouldn't really be reaching anybody, right? So thank you, people that are out there donating dollars and all that stuff. So $100, you get put into a raffle to. Explain that, Greg. What are we doing here?
Into a raffle for Freedom Boat Club to get a 6-month membership paid for. All you pay for is the gas after you go out on a day of having fun on the water, and it kicks off. You'll get some training and all that stuff. If you're in the area where I'm at in Winter Haven, you can go as many times as you want. The other 350 locations, you're allowed to go four times a year at all those locations. So it's really a great benefit. It's really a cool setup they do.
Excellent. And has anybody? I haven't heard Mark Lee say anything about the $500 donation. Mark Lee, I know him. He actually showed up on Clubhouse one time. Beautiful guy, wonderful guy. He does live streams and podcasts and things for people. I see him all the time on LinkedIn. So if you guys want a subscription, a once a week subscription, yes, $500 donation, and you got that.
Yeah, he'll set up your own. Help you set up your podcast. It'd be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll help you create and produce your show about veterans or for veterans or connected to veterans.
Megan Jackson, that's our board secretary right there. She's been.
Megan Jackson.
I think they passed the torch to her to try to keep me out of trouble, and she really didn't know what kind of trouble she was in when that torch was passed. So she's doing a fantastic job so far. So
thank you for commenting. Appreciate that. We're doing pretty good here. So Tim, I'm gonna put you on the weather wheel. Who do we have next after me?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Aha! Actually, I have it right here.
Oh, good. I'm glad you do.
It is Dorothy and Kimberly Genovese.
Oh, yes.
They'll be talking with Greg Bicknell. Imagine that. He's like amazing.
Ah.
And there you go. So Dorothy and Kimberly, at the next hour, you guys please make sure that you check it out. And also, where's that? Can somebody put in the comments, please, the link for the schedule so that people can click on
Yeah.
Yes.
live show? That'd be fantastic because I
You
didn't
got
put
Kim.
that in my my comments, but it needs to be there. So let's
Yeah,
get
like I
back
said,
to
we get a chance to bring Megan on. You know, Glenn, the treasurer, Glenn and I were stationed together, and I retired out of Dyess Air Force Base where he was at, and then he's told me about his daughter. This has been quite a few months back. He goes, "Hey, I've got this daughter that's really familiar with Salesforce, and we needed a CRM, you know, to help keep all of our stuff straight." And so Megan, people give me a hard time, say, don't ever, when you meet Greg, you get a good friend. You also may get a job if you don't watch out. So Megan, we met talking about Salesforce, and now she's a secretary. So I'm like, hey, see how that works? And I know Glenn was thinking, I warned her, I told her, but it's been amazing. And you know, it's a cool thing, but it's cool to see how people that support grow, you know, have kids that support. And it's kind of like that, you know, as you go through, you just kind of have that giving heart. I was raised in a house with a family that really, you know, my dad always loved getting out, and we gave a lot of dinners and stuff away, and they have big cookouts, and my mom was always at the church, and it's just a thing that I love doing now. So, but yeah, Megan's definitely got her hands full.
Excellent. She's laughing down here. So
she doesn't know what she's in for. Pretty soon it'll be like little tear emojis. She'll be like, "Oh my gosh."
Tim, thank you for putting in the link for the schedule. You guys can go to that, and it'll pull up a link to every live show for the remainder of the live stream.
We're going to all the hours.
That's right. Every hour we have a different live streamer, and 6 p.m. tomorrow night will be the last. Well, it's probably. Is it after midnight for you guys?
It'll be that. It's midnight is the show with Megan and I and Kimberly and Dorothy.
Great. So you guys, Saturday's another day for what are we doing?
Fundraising.
tinyurl.com/hope for vets. You guys can remember that. I did. So
yes.
Please go to the link. You can check it out in the comments. You can click on the comments, or you can like copy and paste. I don't know if you can copy and paste, but you can remember tinyurl.com/hope for vets, and you can also make checks out to the Camaraderie Rescue Mission Inc. and mail it to Greg Bicknell. He's up here on the left. He's the founder of TCMI, and he's at 1532 Coregrass Way, Lakeland, Florida 33813. See, can you guys do it like that? That smooth? That was pretty good. All right.
That was good. You had good flow.
Yeah, I'm getting better. See,
look at that.
Well, you know, Tim's my. Go ahead. Who's that?
What's up?
Yeah, you know, Tim. This is the Tim dance. So in order to pass my class, because I take Survive.
The Tim. Do you guys know the Tim dance?
Yes.
So this is
the Tim dance goes like this.
Oh, yes. Like this.
It goes like this.
Yeah.
I thought it was like finger pistols or something, but.
Yep. We had to do that on the show to pass our class. So you guys want to get
anyway?
Are you still doing that, Tim? Survive to Rise live video?
No, I haven't done the class in quite a while. Yeah.
What else do you guys got going on? Philip, I would like to hear more from you. What do you got going on? Can you share something with us, Philip? Can you share some more about you?
Yeah. I actually have my own podcast called The Second Chance, where we spotlight individuals who have fought out of their lowest points in their life to their current point in life. So, you know, we've had people from cancer patients. Tim was just on our show recently. We had a friend of mine who's dealt with 4 miscarriages, and liver disease, kidney disease, pretty much anything medical or just, you know, homelessness or anything like that. If you have a story we want to hear, we want the people to hear it. Also, the month of September, we just actually started our own magazine, also called The Second Chance. And the purpose of that magazine is to spotlight people who don't get spotlighted enough. So to kind of get their story out there and get the story of how they got to where they are currently in life, the work that they put in to get to the level that they're at. And so I'm actually currently in the process of working to start our own online radio station. So have a lot going on. Within our brand, and the thing about our magazine is that it's not just stories of people. It'll be educational. We'll have my co-host Safaro Cook is going to have kind of like a healthy, I guess you say, exercising column to kind of help you stay in shape and things of that nature. We'll also have a kind of a culinary column that's done by Alana Carroll, Chef Alana Carroll. I'm sorry. And then we'll also have kind of a column for Artistic View that's done by Jennifer Ford. That does Motivational Mondays with me, and then also we'll have a inspirational encouragement column that's done by Fred Hill. Most of you on LinkedIn know of Fred Hill. He's the international author of Dialysis is Not Your Life, and he's going to do the inspirational encouragement column for our magazine that will be starting. The first edition for all of those will be this December. So we're only coming out with for a year, and so haven't figured out exactly a price yet for it. It won't be much. I'm not trying to break people's pockets or anything like that. So, but the first edition was free. So it's still out there. Just inbox me on LinkedIn or any other platform if you need that link. Greatly would appreciate the support and the love for the brand. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm getting ready for open heart surgery, so just trying to keep my mindset positive and continuously working. I've find myself that if I'm continuously working, it gives me less time to sit and dwell and think on my issues, which gives me less time to fall into depression and a number of these other things that I think not just the vets but everybody else is kind of dealing with as well, because anybody can fall into depression over anything, so. I'm constantly working. I also work with I'm the California representative for the Why Not Foundation, which is youth needing organ and tissue transplant. And what we do is we provide services for pediatric pre and post transplant patients and their families. So we're in the process of getting these connections with these pediatric transplant departments around the country. To host our annual holiday toy drive that we do every year. We usually do it at about 6 to 7 pediatric transplant departments around the country. So just like I said, constantly working. I'm also in school, trying to get my theater degree. Hopefully, I'll be at Cal Arts next year. So we'll see. But yeah, it's just that's pretty much everything that's on my plate at the current time.
Philip, I know I don't have a lot, but I do have a streaming platform. If there's anything that I can do to help you to share your story or help you raise money or something like that, we can share our network, and I'm definitely down to. You have a platform too, right? We can do something. So consider us friends. I'll find you on LinkedIn and I'll look up. What do you say, Ted Phil? What we said his name was? We should know dialysis.
Oh, Fred Hill.
Fred Hill. Okay, I'll look him up as well. You guys, we're at 5 minutes till we're done here. I just want to make sure that everybody on stage and out there knows that they're welcome. Shamrocker, Liberty, Connie, I am so happy and you know I love that you come on and show me support. She holds my hand. I appreciate that. You're like a mom to me. Greg, your story is absolutely incredibly inspiring. I've been just in tune from the start. At first I was kind of like a little bit intimidated because I mean we got all these live streamers and they're awesome, but we're here for a good cause, so it doesn't matter. That's what we're here for. We're here to raise money. Wait, what are we here for? Come on, guys.
Fundraising.
Fundraising. Go to tinyurl.com/hopeforvets or by check. Make out to Camaraderie Rescue Mission Inc. Mail it to Greg Becknall, 1532 Congress Way, Lakeland, Florida. You can see it scrolling 33813. That's the one. You guys, whip out your wallets. Come on, whip out your wallets. I want to see it. There's all kinds of promos for $500 and $100. So next up we have and Kimberly Genovese. Who is Kimberly, you guys?
So Kimberly is a co-chair along with Dorothy for Camaraderie Rescue Mission. And so Kimberly, I'm gonna tell you this real quick. I know we're short on time, but I was on Unstoppable Overcomers. Dorothy was the last 15 minutes. I was on there, and you talk about changing lives. After 15 minutes and the time that I was on the show, Kimberly decided to pack up and move down here to Lakeland for 3 months. And so she came down, we set a plan, put a lot of paper on the wall and do a lot of planning and strategizing and all that stuff. And here we are today. And so she has been absolutely amazing, her and Dorothy both, and then the whole team that's here, including you, Robert, and Russ, and Liberty Shamrocker, Philip. I feel like we're getting to be best friends now. We're on all time. And Tim and I are already tight. We already went through some bear stuff and some coffee stuff, so we're down.
That's right.
All right, you guys. I hope you have copy and pasted that URL for donating, and also hit up Philip. He's got an amazing story. He might need some help. Everybody that they may seem strong, but sometimes you need some extra help. So please reach out to Philip, you guys. And Russ, God, I love your beard. I mean, we have to talk about your beard at the last minute. Tell me, is that?
Well, it kind of goes with the pirate. It kind of goes with the pirate theme, and so I've had it back and forth, and I've had this brand. They say branding is important, so when I show up in a room, hopefully somebody will recognize me and come up and have a conversation. So it's just one of those things that I've just had for a while, and I just continue to keep it. So
I love it. I love it. I mean,
pretty epic.
It's definitely you. What do you think about that beard, Connie?
I'm loving that beard. I think it's pirate that just brings all kinds of things. Wondering, are you also affiliated at all with Pirate Chain, the cryptocurrency? I'm curious. There's a pirate wallet.
I'm not affiliated, I don't think. So I have to find out a little bit more about it. We'll have to connect afterward. So
Definitely, I need to connect with all of you.
Yes.
All of you. Like my tabs are open with Philip. I know Robert, you'll know what I'm talking about, but he needs to get on.
He's brand new on LinkedIn.
And and he needs to meet Alec for sure. I'm just like, they're doing so many similar things. So Robert will know who I'm talking about there.
Yeah, I'll definitely connect.
Every one of you. Yes.
And Robert, we should shout out Jenny Gold is in the comments.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Jenny.
Oh, give us some more love. Okay, here she is. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, up there.
Jenny's in the room.
I love you, Jenny.
Hello.
Hey, Jenny.
Is she one of our live streamers this time?
She's not this time.
Oh, well, she should be. You're in my heart, Jenny. I love you so much. You guys, we're wrapping up.
The block. Come on.
Thank you so much, Robert. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yes.
Definitely appreciate your time.
There's a link in the comments here to go to the schedule. Check out our next hour for the 24-hour live show. You guys, Unstoppable Camaraderie 24-hour live stream. Boo, 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 boo. tinyurl.com/hopeforvets. You guys better be donating. I'm watching. Hey, that's good. Couldn't be for a better cause. I love you guys. Good night. Have a great night.
Appreciate it.
Love.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.